Hi, this is Alexandra from Plutonia Intuitive, and today we're going to be talking about something near and dear to my heart, which is Venus in Aries. And if you are an Aries, this video may not apply to you, so make sure you're checking your chart out before you dive into these. So why is Venus important to know about? And I find it really fun to research all of these different placements because you can watch for yourself, and if you're interested in anyone else, you can also cross-watch for them as well. And the reason this is so interesting is because you can discover more about how somebody expresses feminine energy. So when I say that, that's about receiving love, what their love language is. And you can kind of get an idea of what this person may enjoy as far as a first date goes, what kind of relationships they're into, and so much more. So this is fun for me. So if we're talking about Venus and Aries, something to understand about this one is it's a bit challenging. And I can give a pretty in-depth perspective as a woman having this placement in my chart because it's expressing feminine energy, but almost in this masculine way, which is kind of funny and can actually throw people, especially people with heavy masculine, very manly men, it can really throw them off. If somebody is interested in that sort of damsel in distress, quieter, shy type of woman, then they may not enjoy this one very much. But anyways, let's just get into it. So, as I was saying, some people can find it a little bit abrasive. Aries energy is very outward. It can be very loud, sometimes obnoxious. Usually it's actually really innocent and it has good intentions generally. It's just that Aries energy is childlike, but in the negative sense that can also be childish because this is a sign that is fiercely independent, and that can stem into selfishness if you're not careful. So even as somebody with a Pisces sun and Pisces Mercury, when I was in middle school, I noticed this one manifesting in a way that if I was interested in anyone, despite being really shy and awkward, like most people are in middle school, but for me, I felt I was particularly weird and awkward, and I had a hard time connecting with other people. Even despite that, my first crush, like real crush in middle school, I did get the courage to actually tell him how I felt about him. Did it go well? No, but that doesn't really matter. That's just the way that this one plays out. Is Venus and Aries people will generally take charge of the situation. Because why be stuck in the realm of what ifs? This energy is almost like, fuck it, let's just see what happens. And that can be a really fun thing. Because why not just be real with your feelings? Like, it's simple. At least it should be. So now, having had this as an adult, I can tell you that you may find long-term relationships pretty challenging, especially because this childlike energy can get kind of bored pretty easily, impatient. And that's something that you really need to take into account when you're choosing partners. Because if you have somebody, as an example, that's very heavy Capricorn, that you know, is constantly grinding and stuck in their routine and controlling, uh, that's not gonna go so well. There's gonna be some serious conflict here. And I mean, it can be worked through, but you definitely need somebody that can stay on that adrenaline and excitement level with you and is down for spontaneity and adventures and exploring new things with you and kind of keeping you stimulated in a physical sense. And I mean, that can be sexually and in reality out in the day-to-day life, right? It's definitely not hopeless around relationships. So everything that I'm saying, please keep that in mind. It's just that this one is a bit more challenging. And what makes this challenging is it's a fire sign. And when you have fire energy in a Venus placement, it can make for a very, very passionate person, but that passion can die really quickly. So, I mean, at least a bonus with this is you can bounce back from breakups generally pretty quickly, but the long-term aspects of relationships can just be hard. And you really have to learn to mature into this and recognize that you don't want to be just throwing things away as soon as they get boring, because you may end up regretting it later. And I've been in this position before. One of the archetypes that I really like, that I feel captures this really well, is the knight in shining armor, because you have this person bust down a door and yell, "I'm here, I'm ready to go," and really, they get really hyped on challenges. So if you have a Venus and Aries person in your life that you're interested in, my advice to you is be unavailable just enough. You don't ever want to smother these people, because they will immediately just back off and be really, you'll make them really nervous if you're too attached. So definitely leave a little bit of mystery. This energy is very impulsive and it wants to act fast. So you can fall in love really hard and really quickly. It hits you like a ton of bricks. All your cells are activated and on fire, and you're just like really, really alive when you're in love. And unfortunately, the flip side to that is that you're gonna get heartbroken a lot, and you're gonna fall on your face a lot, and it's gonna fucking hurt. But I mean, at least you do have that pretty fast regenerative ability to get back up, unless you have something going on with Pluto maybe, but you'll wake up the next day ready to play the game again. And I think a lot of Venus and Aries people actually really do enjoy the game and enjoy being single. So when we talk about this manifesting in a woman's chart, it's interesting because I always think of this as the hunter and not the hunted. And I'm talking personally here when I go out to a show, music festival, anything like that, and I'm walking around, I like to kind of scope out people. And I don't really enjoy people approaching me because I want to be in control of the situation. And if a man comes up to me, I'm generally just really thrown off and taken aback, and I find that, I don't know, I just get irritated by it. So yeah, it kind of breaks that traditional female male gender role thing which I think it's fun. It's great. And if you're also, on this note, if you're interested in a Venus and Aries, dear God, do not tell them what to do. It's good to make suggestions, but they are not going to appreciate it. It's not going to go well for either of you. And independence is everything with this placement. I really enjoy freedom-loving Venus in Geminis, Venus in Aquarius. I've never experienced personally, but I think that would be really fun with this one. And Venus in Sagittarius as well, I feel, would also be enjoyable, because these are all freedom-loving signs and kind of respect when you need your space and when you need to just do things on your own. As a Venus in Aries, one of the biggest aspects of this is just wanting to be accepted and loved for who you are. If somebody wants to come in and edit your personality, which don't do that. I don't care what kind of relationship it is. I mean, you can push each other to be better. And with Venus and Aries challenging them, like, oh, I bet you can't cook tacos very well. I don't know, that's stupid, but you understand what I'm saying. That's gonna motivate them a lot more than straight up just telling them that there's something wrong with them. Why are you even here? Just love and accept a Venus and Aries for who they are, and they're gonna very enthusiastically love you back for that. Individuality holds a very deep place in their hearts. So another bonus to dating these people is they will love to motivate you. This is a very adventurous Venus placement. So yeah, they will swoon over your confidence in taking a chance on things in your life. Also, keep in mind that Venus and Aries people are pretty flirty by default. And it's usually innocent. Like, I don't feel that this is one that's known for cheating, but it's just that passionate outward expression of this energy. They find it really, really fun to flirt with people. It's kind of a game to them. And if you have an issue with that, fix your jealousy shit or just stay away, because it's gonna just cause unnecessary conflicts. And you need to be able to accept that as humans, we are going to have eyes for other attractive people, and that's not, in my mind, a very negative thing. It's just nature. What can you do about it? So I've gotten pretty in depth with how women or people with feminine energy manifest this outwardly. And if you are a man or you're someone who identifies more with masculine energy, then basically you will be attracted to, because Venus also shows what we can be attracted to, somebody who is very blunt, active, energetic, vulgar, for sure. And independence and self-reliance is very sexy to you. People who are competitive, people who are down to try different athletic activities, and who are brave and willing to go on adventures with you. If you're trying to seduce a Venus in Aries, just know that there's really no room for insecurity when it comes to how you feel about yourself as a partner, or how you feel about how you look, Obviously, everybody has insecurity at some point, so you don't have to be perfect, but just you need to approach them with a strong will, strong confidence, and they will be really receptive to that and they will love that. So if you have any kind of like intense victim mentality, self-deprecating behavior, you're overly clingy, or you're too passive, this is going to be a huge turnoff for them. If you're getting to know them and you notice that they start making fun of you, roasting you, just like the little kids on the playground, man, it's silly, but it does mean that they like you. So just keep that in mind. It's generally really innocent, but it's something I've noticed in myself as well. If I start beaking you, it's probably because I might have a crush on you, so. Or just enjoy your company, whatever. Are you taking a Venus in Aries on a first date? Well, theme parks, man. That's a really good one. You want to think about activities that will get adrenaline going, but obviously within comfort zones, so check with the other person. Theme parks, mini golf, because there's an element of competition and it's a physical activity. Sporting events, haunted houses. I went with my friend actually to something called a rage room, where you're put in a room and you're given an array of weapons, so sledgehammers, golf clubs, baseball bats, and you just smash stuff. Dude, you taking a Venus and Aries on a date like that, whoo, ooh, that'll go well for you. Also the arcade, shooting range, gun range, if you could do that, that would be great. And if none of these things are accessible to you, actually a simple hike will do it, I think. So if you're on a budget or time constraints, and keeping it spontaneous. You don't want to overly plan anything. You don't want to have a strict itinerary, but they do enjoy surprises. So the most common love language for Venus and Aries people is physical touch. So something I can say, if you have been single for a while, dry spells, anything like that, just for self-care, if you can get those, like personal massagers. I'm not talking about, but I mean for real, like for your back or shoulders. If you can get something like that, that actually can put you more at ease. Make sure that you're moving your body. That's really important. Do some workout videos or just get yourself on a hike. Go play video games with a friend, Call of Duty or something, where you gotta compete against each other. Like, I don't care, whatever. It's just, yeah, like you can sort of self-soothe if you're feeling lonely or stifled in your romantic life. So as I was saying in the beginning with this one, how it can be a bit challenging, you can work with it and you can learn to be in healthy long-term relationships, but it starts with you working on the ability to compromise in a healthy way, to learn to be patient with the other person, and please leave your ex alone, motherfucker. You don't need to stir that pot. People are exes for a reason, and it's really common with this placement. Like a year later, you're just, oh, I wonder what they're doing. And it's just kind of, you look at it as this easy gateway back into someone's life. Just leave them alone, man. It's all good. Because you like drama a little bit, and don't even lie to me, you do. There's a little bit of a Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing here, like, in the movie where they get into that huge fight and shoot up their house and then they make up after. that can be okay, but be mindful that you don't want to get caught into any kind of abuse, anything like that. And you can use these elements of your personality to have very constructive arguments, actually, and you'll come out of it loving each other even deeper, which is pretty beautiful, I think. So that is my video on Venus and Aries. This is Alexandra from Plutonia Intuitive. You can book natal chart readings with me at www.plutoniaintuitive.com.